I didn't stop my son from calling his stepdad dad. My ex-wife called me screaming about it like I'd committed a felony. How could you let this happen? She demanded. You're supposed to be his father. I laughed. That's rich coming from you. Let me explain how we got here. My son Caleb is 8 years old. When he was 3, my ex-wife Lauren decided she was done being married, found someone else. A guy named Brian who made more money and had a bigger house. She didn't just leave. She tried to erase me. First, it was small things, forgetting to tell me about school events, scheduling activities during my custody weekends. Then it got worse. She told Caleb that daddy was too busy to see him when I was literally waiting in her driveway. She canceled visits last minute, claiming he was sick. She moved 40 minutes away without telling me. I spent $30,000 in court fighting for every other weekend and Wednesday dinners. That's all I got. 4 days a month with my own son. Brian moved in 6 months after the divorce. By the time Caleb turned 5, Brian was at every soccer game, every school play, every birthday party. I showed up when I could, but Lauren made sure I looked like the absent father. She scheduled things during my work hours. She'd post photos of Brian with Caleb captioned, "My boys," while I sat alone in my apartment missing my kid. Caleb started calling Brian Daddy Bree around age 6. I found out from an Instagram post. That one hurt. I called Lauren immediately. "You need to stop this. He has a father." She just laughed. "He's confused. Brian's here every day. You're here twice a month. What do you expect?" I expected her to correct him, to remind him who his real dad was. She didn't. By 7, Caleb dropped the Bree part. Just dad now. 2 dads. One he saw every day. One he saw 4 times a month. I tried talking to Caleb about it during one of our weekends. "Hey buddy, you know I'm your dad, right? Your real dad?" He looked at me confused. "I know, but Brian takes care of me too. Mom said it's okay to have 2 dads." My heart shattered. Not because he loved Brian. Kids can love multiple people, but because Lauren had rewritten our family story and made me a supporting character. I consulted my lawyer about it. He said there's no law against a child calling someone dad. Courts don't regulate what kids say. I'd spend thousands fighting something I couldn't win, so I stopped fighting that battle. Instead, I focused on the time I had. Every other weekend became sacred. I made every moment count. Then last month, something changed. Caleb came to my apartment for his weekend. He was quiet the whole drive, didn't want to play video games, didn't want pizza, just sat on my couch staring at the wall. "What's wrong, buddy?" He started crying. Not little kid tears, deep, heaving sobs that shook his whole body. I held him and waited. "Mom and Brian are getting divorced," he finally said. "Brian's moving out. He told me he's not my real dad anyway and that I should stop calling him that." I felt my jaw clench so hard it hurt. Caleb looked up at me with red eyes. He said I was just a package deal, that he only pretended to like me because of Mom. I wanted to drive to Lauren's house and destroy something, but my son needed me more than I needed revenge. I pulled him closer. "That's not true. You're not a package deal. You're the whole point." He stayed with me that whole week. Lauren didn't even fight it. She was too busy dealing with her own mess. That's when she called me screaming. "Brian's leaving," and she somehow blamed me. Said I poisoned Caleb against him. Said I should have stopped Caleb from getting attached. "You wanted him to call Brian dad," I reminded her. "You encouraged it." I didn't think Brian would leave. She was crying now. I didn't think this would happen. I stayed quiet for a long moment. Then I said what I'd been holding in for 5 years. "That's the difference between me and Brian. I never left. You pushed me out, moved away, scheduled around me, let another man raise my son, and through all of that, I showed up every time I was allowed to. Every single time." She went silent. "I'm his father. Not because he calls me dad, because I never stopped being there even when you made it impossible." Caleb lives with me now. Joint custody got reversed after Lauren's stable household fell apart. She gets him every other weekend. Last week, Caleb asked if he had to call Brian anything when he saw him at school pickup. I told him he could call Brian whatever felt right. He thought about it. Then he said, "I think I'll just call him Brian. There's only one dad." I didn't correct him.